You had severe migraine problems 2 or 3 times a week that were also very disabling at work. What medications were you taking?
Fortunately, I have a very high pain tolerance level, so I always try to endure, maybe rest. However, I have never taken medication for it. I endured.
You used to put up with it. Then you met the Life 120 lifestyle and...
I have never had a headache again.
Never a headache again. I read that you were also suffering from very significant headaches for several years, so the severe headaches.
Yes, very disabling. I came to think that I was better off if I was no longer on this planet, because it was a very heavy suffering for me, because I had to resort to going to the doctor, I had to resort to going to the emergency room.
Is it true that let's call it a way of the cross to headache centers has also begun?
Yes. For the past 2 years, since I have been leading this eating style, that I no longer go to the Genoa Headache Center, because prevention in this case doesn't help me, because I wasn't improving anything by taking various medications, beta blockers and so on. I eat like this, I don't have these migraines, I live a pretty normal life. Now and then maybe I get them like all people.
You had a migraine problem that appeared at least 2 or 3 times a week, right?
Yes, exactly. But just the heavy ones that you have to be in total darkness with the effect of the drugs. Even though you take the drugs after a certain period of time, you don't have any results whatsoever.
Whatsoever, basically not resolution, because basically, as I understand it, you had these kinds of migraines that even the light was bothering you. So
yes, I had to be totally in the dark for a couple of hours at least to make it dull the pain. Even though she was taking medication, it didn't go away completely, it would dull. Then you go on. And you try to overtake it.
But then, Ms. Tusa, you met the Life 120 lifestyle, and so how's your migraine going?
Disappearance.
Has it completely disappeared?
Yes, and in a very short time.
In how much time?
Less than a week.
Less than a week?
Yes, in less than a week it completely disappeared.
You had been suffering from severe migraine for about 30 years. What did it look like?
Yes, it's true. It presented with this sense of oppression in the temples, this grip just of pain, and then with consequence of stomach pains, nausea and vomiting.
Is it true that you also had to call the doctor's office?
Yes, it happened more than once that I had to call the doctor's office because although I had an empty stomach, the spasm continued, the urge to vomit continued.
How often did you have such severe headaches?
Even 2 or 3 times a week.
Even 2 or 3 times a week. So it's basically crippling to your daily life. So then, you know, the Life 120 lifestyle, when do you start practicing it?
From July 2018.
And what happens to your headaches?
But basically within 2 or 3 months they become more and more thinned out until they disappeared completely.
So basically, a pathology, a problem that you had for 30 years, you solved it thanks to the Life 120 lifestyle?
Yes, exactly.
Basically, it was gripping you for a very long time. You had very severe headaches, very severe phenomena. How often did you have it?
Pretty much every day. Yes, yes.
And what kind of issue did you have? I mean, how strong was it?
It was very strong, especially at certain times of the month, let's say. And they were really pounding on the forehead, on the nape of the neck. It was continuous.
So I imagine that even during all the daily activities, she was unable to perform quietly.
Yes, because at work it was causing me problems because I often had to be absent because I could no longer to be in front of the computer. So in short...
Then it doesn't end there, because at a visit you make to the headache center, they find you have a particular form of shingles, basically something that matched, and they try to treat it. Was this treatment working?
No, basically I did cortisone treatment. I took particular drops. They were just to treat this thing. but it failed. It was just a continuous hammer in the head.
You couldn't cure one or the other. Then you start following the Life 120 lifestyle, and what happens?
Yes, the miracle happens. Let's say that already the first week I noticed the first improvements. So even after only 1 week, during the first week, yes, both on the physical level, improvement, just the fatigue, it was gone. And within 10 days, I have never had a headache again. Now it's a year. It's a year that I've been following.
And the headache?
Yes, it's gone.